Welcome to Saturday night live streaming painting. We're using this golden acrylics. We'll probably use some watercolors too. We'll layer these colors in and do something nice and quick and fast and easy. Let's see, do we have anyways, this is 999 show. Got the plains of Fantasyland. Oh, it's good. Hi. I'm doing fine. My little dog's getting really old. It's kind of bothering me. Little Pee-wee is kind of freezing up a bit. I think maybe one of her hips is locking up, or I don't know. And yourself, how are you doing? It's Ravni, right? I got your name right, Ravni? Yeah. And we want to distinguish one side from the other, trying to just do something quick here. Yes, my pet. She's a little doggy. I don't know. I don't really think of her as like a pet. I think of her more like my friend. Yeah, Pee-wee, little Pee-wee, my little doggy friend. We do have to take care of her. So there is that. We want to distinguish the mountains from one another here. Far away, maybe a little darker, lighter up front. Welcome, Kevin. Welcome. Let's see, what are we going to do here? Maybe we'll add a little of this. Now it's like gray tones. Gray tones back here. Figure out where I'm supposed to distinguish one side from the other. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna probably just try to see if I can do this in like a half an hour or less. And maybe some plains down here with some green. Got this. I gotta use these paints up before they dry up on me. These are. I'm trying a different angle here. Yeah, how do you like this different layer or different angle? So the camera, my phone is actually above my eye level, so tracking the chat, I have to, lift my hands up or look up. And so, yeah, just some mountains, some far away mountains. Maybe we'll make it a little bit more yellow added in here, so it's comes in, it layers in to be more like an orangey tone. Thank you. I'm just something, just a little something. But while I was in town today, I found something really interesting. Sometimes because people have been complaining about, I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a few more layers of color up here. And then maybe, you know, I might put a tower in, maybe a little castle or something like that. So at the top, I think what we'll do is, let's see. Coming up here, make the colors are run like watercolors. They're not really watercolors. These are, now I just put some undiluted yellow ochre down here. I'm hoping that I can get it to have some shape. But it looks like at that point in time, oh, thank you for subbing. Now I will warn you, I don't always do this on this channel, so if you're expecting art all the time, I'm not always doing art. I do it's vertical. Yeah, it looks kind of vertical. I want it, let this dry a little bit. And then I picked up this for a few dollars at this store. I was like thinking about, because people are always complaining about me not having music on or anything like that. It actually works. Ah, well, I know. It's anything that like a little kindergartner can do. Yeah. Or the paint is drying. Oh, it's got a second one. Oh, it's got a little song too. Let's see here. Oh, I don't want to get paint on it. Maybe later. Maybe your cat is up. Yeah. Anyways, there's I have a volunteer job, and there's this store I volunteer at that sells my art. So in exchange for selling my art at this store, I give 1 day a month, and I sold some art that today, and I sold some of it, and then it's like there all the time. And I think I want to add some. I want to lighten up the front a little bit more, and come in with a lighter color. Kind of bring some more light in here. Still got a lot of fluid on here. Probably should have brought my hair dryer out. Anyways, this is all just for practice. Yeah. But, you know, just like the plane down here. A green wave. That's clear off in the distance. And Yes, that's something. You know, sometimes you don't do it right the first time, and then you just kind of go back in later and fix things. And so let's just go in and see about. I'm going to take some of this transparent black, and we'll just do. We'll put it in here. And maybe I should have used just the pencil beforehand. And so, did you want to come on my show sometimes, Ravni? And I did send you an email about that. If you wanted to come on coloring the tarot sometime, when you have time. Okay, I'm gonna put. Looks like my hand's kind of shaky. All right, well, you think about it. It's like just no pressure, no pressure, no pressure. Let's see, what color do I want this building to be? Yellow? Maybe a big yellow building. Yeah, let's make it like that. Well, we're dealing out of. My schedule's pretty open. I'm doing. Lexi's going to be on next Saturday afternoon. Um, my mother has doctor's appointments on next Friday and the Friday after that, and then what? This building's see-through. We don't want a transparent building. So what you do, Ravni, is you tell me when you tell me when you're available in an email, and then I will respond and see what days. I generally take Mondays off, but and I don't like and after my Sunday afternoon show, I actually don't do anything for a while. So because when I swing around from Saturday to Sunday, I don't get a whole lot of sleep, and so, anyways, and then you have to have family time with your family and so forth, and which I kind of do that. Let's put this building here. It's a big tower. I think I might change the color of it, but yeah, that's. I think I want to make it a little bit browner. Maybe we'll come up with this quinacridone, or no, this is Zilron Crimson. We'll put this so that we'll have a big red building. Maybe it's more like barn red or something like that. Anyways. So how about I'm gonna let this dry for a second. How about I know I'm gonna lose some people here, but can't do those, too much darkness. Ravni. What is Ravni? Maybe that one. Do you like this one, Ravni? Or not? Actually, that sure is not that sure. I'm thinking now. What about this one? So the choice is this one or this one, but you know, due to some of your videos that you've done, it sounds like this one might. This one or this one? You choose. The eight of cups or the 8 of swords. 8 of cups or the 8 of swords. Okay, 8 of swords. I will do that one then. So I'm gonna write here, and so when you're available, whenever you're available, this one will be for you. So winds of reflection. Okay. All right. That one will be yours when you have the time, when your time, when we can match up a time spot. That'll be yours to do. Now I need to work on this one to make it less like it's transparent. Actually, that's going to take more layers of paint in order for that to happen. And all right, maybe it needs another. All right, what's we got going on here? That paint's a little bit hardened up, so I'm gonna have to clean this out soon. Big red building on top of the hill here. Maybe it's like an observatory. You're welcome. I'm going to put the shadow side on this side here. It'll be as usual. It'll be a no pressure show, so you don't have to really worry about, you know, all you know, just making sure that. Okay, well, I kind of screwed up the building here, but you know what? Yeah, you like the deeper red? Well, you know, you do know that I produce my entire show on a small screen, so if I were to use a computer, I would need to run an Ethernet line into this space that I'm at, and I'm not really opposed to that, but okay, I can't do any more layers on this because it's got the feeling of it being more kind of like mud, and so yeah, and you know, with that Tools of Fortune channel, I've been editing all those videos on there as well. But anyways. Okay, so let's just do a background sky, but I kind of feel like it needs a little UFO or something in the background. with like a flying saucer up here. Kind of like that. And then if I take this, hi Tapestry of the Unseen, welcome. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure what gets more views if the portrait mode ones or the ones in horizontal mode. I mean, I can do these lives in horizontal, but if I'm going to be showing my face, then I need a different wall background, which I'm not. So that's why I do it in the portrait mode. So we got like, let's got like a little mini UFO back in there too. So got a dark shape. Maybe it's a cloud. It's like a weird cloud or something. There we go. You have your background for well, I just use a sheet. I just use a gold sheet, and I have it tacked up. But I have it tacked up on the wall, and I think maybe it needs another little UFO or something. You got it on Temu? Oh yeah. I don't know. I haven't really bought anything off Temu. I kind of, for some reason, I don't know. I haven't bought anything off of Temu. Let's do this clear off in the distance so it's like an alien invasion. Coming in here. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like it too. I like this whole thing. So we got this building here that's too see-through, but in order to make it not see-through, I have to add a whole bunch more layers of paint on it. So like maybe with these little flying saucers like birds in the background, but they're coming on in and coming on in. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if any of that's real or not, but little triangular shaped things. Like birds or like whatever. We'll just let that dry a little bit and then we'll come in and work on the foreground a bit more. Maybe we want to add some trees in. This, I'm going to keep it that light color. Maybe it has like a snow-capped mountain or something off in the distance. I could do that. If I come up over this with this white, I can mask over the whole thing and I will get that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that you thought about that I could do that. And I come back in over it. But yeah, I do like the ideas. Well, welcome, Triple. You're from India. I am going to remove that, but it's going to be coming in. I'm going to go paint over it another color because I want this background to disappear. And so we are going. So now I'm just making the building more. Um, get the background to disappear. There we go. And maybe we have some more snow-capped mountains clear out there. Maybe it's not there, something like that. Let's let this dry a bit. And then, all right. Let's let that dry again, and then we'll go do another layer on it. And so I think it might need some trees, but I think I want to do the background first before I start doing any trees or anything like that. And maybe we'll come in over this. We're going to add in some different colors and maybe some yellow because I want to add in some more light on the foreground so we see that the shadow is that way. And I'm a little worried about my little dog. Just an old thing. She's just, oh, makes me sad that she's getting older. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. It's just a little peewee dog. He's a little doggy. If you go on, I have a, she's a little long-haired Chihuahua, about 15 years old. Because yeah. And in Tapestry, I wanted to have you come on the show and we can talk about animal, animal consciousness and so it's like oftentimes because little Pee-wee she comes into my mind a lot, into my dreams and so forth. And okay, I think that's dry enough that I can go and change mediums here. Yeah, my cat died a few years ago. She was 20. She was 20 years old. And we're going to switch over to watercolors for the background. Yeah, well, when I'm under a lot of stress, I see animals. When I'm yeah, when I'm like my anxiety's like running super high, something like that, I will often see uh, animal spirits in my consciousness. Yeah, they are. Yeah, it is. It is. It's harder. It's harder with them because they don't really understand. There's a lot of things they just don't understand, and And so we'll come in here. Let's make this a lot. There we go. Hi, Mama Sushi. So what do you think of my background? I added a new tarot spirit last night. I made this last night. And this is I'll probably do a different draft to this. This is the hanging plant. Or if you look at the other way around, the hanged plant. Yeah. Or maybe it's yeah. Well, we'll just put it upside down like that. And see, the beauty about combining acrylics and let me just get my rosary out of the way. The beauty about combining our acrylics and watercolor together is you can paint right over the top of that acrylic, and it doesn't it doesn't really kind of go away. Maybe this one does a little bit, but I'm gonna put this down in there. Maybe we'll take up some of this white. We'll kind of tone it down a lot more. So it's a lot like clouds off in the distance. I used to have those rosary prayers all memorized. I just have the tools, and of course it wouldn't take very long to re-memorize the rosary prayers, but we'll come up with this darker blue, impression blue, and some darker colors up top here. It is kind of the beauty of watercolors. You can reactivate with just some water, whereas like with those acrylics, once they dry, they're dry. And you can see how the paper is buckling here because I didn't tape it down or anything. There we go. Add to the complexity and the depth of the field. Yeah. Well, I don't know. This is my first time. Well, this year is my first time playing with watercolors. I'm gonna just kind of put these in here, darker colors in there. Kind of get it to feel like there's this field of and some of these UFOs. They're just sort of hiding back in there. There we go. up here. I think make it lighter way down there, and then yeah, I prefer anything that can get me to something like this. Now these are acrylics and watercolors combined together, and where I can get super bright colors. Super bright colors. This is acrylics, straight up acrylics here, and I like the acrylics because you can get. Now I think this is watercolor, but it also has some acrylics in it. And so I like, or we take, this is acrylics. I like the super bright colors. That's what I like. But I like what you can do with. I like what you can do with acrylic paints. But then this whole thing with what I'm doing right now with the watercolor and making this cloudy landscape, this landscape of clouds, and how the color just sort of spreads out like that. You can see that you're dabbing it on here and it just sort of spreads out. And so it's really, I don't know, it's kind of relaxing. It's relaxing. Today it is. Painting isn't always relaxing, but today it is. Today is relaxing. And we're just going to use the paint up. Put some down on here. It'll dry up. Layer it on top of. That means I just put the light someplace else. Well, I have a lot of study to do with painting. There's so much stuff I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Why is today more, why is it more relaxing? Because I'm just sort of, I'm not, I don't have any, I didn't have any specific image in mind, and nothing specific in mind, and you know, when you're doing, so if you're trying to, like, Pee-wee, my dog's name is Pee-wee, little Pee-wee. I have a video of her with the in the car wash. That was actually less than a year ago. Maybe it was a year ago. Yeah. If I had my other device in here, I would show you the dog. But I don't have my other device, and I can't multitask this thing. Yeah, little Pee-wee. We've had her for 7 years. No, I've had her since she was 7 years old. I think it's so. Is it 7 years or 8 years? I can't remember now. Came from my oldest niece's dog. And then it was at my sister's house, and then it came to our house, and I think in 2018. Well, they're more forgiving in that you can rework them a little bit once they dry. Hmm. Wednesday, yeah. Well, here we go. I like the sky now. This is sufficiently dry now so that I can go in now and rebuild that building. And then we can rebuild the foreground a bit. I started painting in um 2016. In 2016, I started painting in 2016. Um, but I started doing photography when I was like fifth or sixth grade, and I started cooking when I was like when I was like 8 years old. So I've been doing. Yes, I sell my paintings. I sell what in the store that I volunteer in. I sell cards like this. I don't sell them for very much, but I get what I can get for them. And I sold one today while I was there too. And the young lady who bought it, she has bought more others of my stuff too. So, what color was this going to be? A yellow building? No, it was that red color? That was right. But we'll just do yellow first. Yeah, let's see, that has dried a bit sufficiently. And I have gone to art fairs and I sell paintings. Yeah. Yeah. I guess what it is that I have enough of an ego. I'm not an egomaniac. I wouldn't go so far as to say that, because I don't have like an excessive amount of self-confidence, but I know that I just I know that some of the stuff I do is really good. I know that. I know that. But I can recognize that some of my work is really good. But I'm not like gonna I don't come out and say that, because I have enough of an ego, because I'm here doing this painting online. I'm painting on a live stream, and I'm not necessarily afraid of making a mistake or afraid of looking bad. So in that sense, but and I have enough humility to know that sometimes my stuff is not that great. I do realize that, and so, but you if I if my self-confidence was like super low, I never would do this in the first place, you know. So in that sense, I have self-confidence when it comes to this, but when it comes to other things in my life, like romance and dating, well, my self-confidence sucks. In that sense, I never had it. And so, yeah, I'm just speaking honestly and just out of a place of honesty. That was all. I wasn't like being braggy. I didn't want to come off as being braggy or anything like that. And then I've been writing. I've also been writing poetry since because I'm like what I'm almost 60 years old, and so we're looking at, let's see what say 18. Let's see, that's like 28, 38, 48. I've been writing poetry for 40 years. For 40 years, and I've been doing photography for longer, for a lot longer, and stuff like that. And I'm gonna make it darker on that other side there. So I've been engaged in artistic things for a lot of years. That's all I'm trying to say. And yeah, so anyways, I don't, and like I say, I do have a little bit of an ego, but but I don't take myself all that seriously, if that makes any sense at all. Because I have enough ego that I'm doing this on YouTube, and and that's what I'm saying. I have enough ego that I I've put my art up for sale. And put it and just put it in those terms, but not necessarily do I take myself, all that seriously. That enough that I know I'm no like Rembrandt. I'm no Rembrandt, and I'm no Da Vinci. I'm nowhere near or any of that. Nowhere near like an Andy Warhol or or as a poet, I'm not anything like a Bukowski or Dylan Thomas or Walt Whitman or any of like those greats. I'm just who I am, and that's that. And I'm not, and I never will be. Well, thank you. It was very attractive enough that like those people that I mentioned, the Bukowskis and all those other people, they used, and their egos were a lot like for really huge, and they used those though they used their skills in order to um yeah for for sexual gain. I know that people they've done that, and people have done that, and I know when I was living up in Seattle, I knew people who did that all the time. They and were they all that great as not? I don't know, but they certainly were. Yeah, well, they were. Yeah, they were pretty good actually. Those people were. They were using their that, and were they all that good looking? No, they weren't all that good looking. Not at all. Not at all. They weren't. They weren't there. They weren't as anywhere as easy on the eyes as like Ramon is, or a lot knew a lot of these men, that guys that were they were just whatever they were charismatic, but they certainly weren't like it's just like I say. being easy on the eyes. And let's see, if we take a little line here, make it there, little edge here. I'm still working on this skill of doing lines that are, I'm kind of a little shake. I've had a lot of caffeine today. That's true. But yeah. I think I want to do another shade of some other color. I think I want to go in here and use one of these fluid acrylics. And we'll do that. Wow, I'm on a little bit longer than I thought I would be on. We got the UFOs back here blending in. But yeah, anyways. A big old building in the background. Off in imagination land. I guess when it came down to romance, being that I've never really had a whole lot of money, I equated, and I'll just say, it's hard sometimes for me to say this, but I have done it and I'll say it. I equated financial resources and attractiveness together. For like my attractiveness, I tied it to my bank balance. And since my bank balance wasn't very high, so if I was like, let's say, interested in you, maybe I would have everything that would be in the forefront of my head would have been my bank balance. And then I thought, well, there's no use asking you out because you'll find out sooner or later that I'm dirt ass poor, and so you won't like me, and so then I would end trying to I would end things. I wouldn't pursue things anymore, or just disappear. Tapestry. Pee Wee has bonded herself to my mother, who's 85, that I take care of, and Pee Wee she's she doesn't like men, but she has learned to like me. She has learned to like me over the last 3 or 4 years. When the cat died, then she started to like me because the cat was like bonded to me. And then when the cat passed on, and so it's been a slow process of having the dog to. Where did I learn what from? That idea. Oh, that came from that came from probably came from that's baggage that I didn't come from my mom. It might come from my dad. Came from my sister. Came from my family, where that attitude came from. I mean, she doesn't remember this, but she did tell me that no woman likes women don't like men who are poor. So if you want to get married, you have to have money. or have resources. That's where, I mean, yeah. I remember it kind of, it just kind of, I'm going to use a different black. I need to get some black. Some black that's right out of the tube. That's where I learned that from on the sushi. You know, it and hi Elizabeth. And you know, yeah, that stuff stick. And you know, and you know, and being also me being with that audio processing disorder, being a little bit on the spectrum, I sort of I need a black. Where did I put that black at? Oh, here it is. The tube of the black. Yeah, that sticks with us, and yeah, you damn right that stuff sticks with us. Wow, you're up late, Elizabeth. You're up way late. All right, so we're just gonna come right out of the tube. Go right out of the tube here. You're fooling around. That sounds interesting. Fooling around. Huh. I thought that was something that only young people did, was fool around. Not some far away, some windows in here. All the way down to the ground floor. It's a big, tall building here. And it's some kind of a tower. It might be that tower, yeah. I'll just get a little bit more of the darker color on that side. Yeah. And then, let's see here. Then maybe it's a monastery. Then it's off lonely out there in the boondocks on the top of a hill, overlooking everything. And you got some rocks or something here. Well, yeah, they're hidden behind the clouds. And Elizabeth, your interview with Ramon was amazing. I must say that. It was captivating. Yeah. Yeah, it was captivating. I was thinking about your whole your explorations through this book. I've read most of it. I actually haven't read, of all the tarot books I haven't read a single one of them all the way through. This one I think I've read the most, followed by this one. Yeah, so those two books I think are my favorite. And so this one was written by Sasha Graham. And this has a lot of esoteric stuff in it. It doesn't have, it has enough to whet the appetite. And whereas I look at a book with a lot of, this is a good one too. I've read probably 30 or 40% of this one. This one's good. And then I think I have that other one too here. And this is the only one. This is the only one that I've read all the way through. And this one is interesting. This is just stories. This is a guy who he wrote stories using the Tarot de Marseille. It's stories. Yeah. I didn't buy that one. I have some other ones. Then there's this one here. This one is also good. I've read pieces of it, but it's like, I think when I had Tarot D on, I was talking a little bit about the layout of these tarot books, and where when they go like straight through those cards, it just loses me. But this is a heavy academic book, and I like how it's laid out. But there isn't very many of these. There is not very many of these books out there that are just straight up academic books. They don't go. It's not a guidebook. It goes into various different elements, history and different philosophy and things like that. And that's kind of how I like how would like a tarot book to be laid out, where it does not at all go into the minutia of the definitions of things, but it kind of just goes into just the esoteric underpinnings of it all. And yeah, they may be tougher to read, but they're easier for me to read. Those ones are easier for me to read, and that's what I would try to say. And I'm gonna go over my UFOs, and then I've had vertigo all month. Do I have any silver paint? I do someplace. And let's take this fluorescent blue. Yeah, I've had vertigo all month. It's kind of this one's now hidden in the clouds. Blue. If we put in a little layer of the blue UFO here, actually this thing looks more like the UFOs, the flying saucers in that TV miniseries V, if you remember that one. I just love that. I need to rewatch it. You get sleepy easy? Yeah. And Evie would come and put just a tad bit of white. No, actually, this one has just been obscured. You don't know it's there anymore. And Here we go. Oh, that's happened to me. That's happened to me. That's happened to me because it's like I set up myself to be putting 2 videos out a week on that Tools of Fortune, and I've trying to get them out on time, and the phone just falls right out of my hand, and I'm like I sound asleep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a common experience for me. I don't know if I should lighten that up, but that's all right. Anyways, I don't know what else I'm gonna do on this. I think I'll pull the xylophone out. It really slaps you in the face. Well, yeah, it's not like we're getting any younger here, and I don't really get a whole lot of sleep either. And like and sub if you like my content. And I need to. Don't want to break this. So this is my little store that. I'll just put that over here. So, old-fashioned xylophone. Oh, she's talking about my mother. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yes, I do have nightmares. Huh. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I often will look at Pee Wee and I can see a white light, a white light energy field around her, which Yeah, there's a neighbor cat that keeps coming by. Looking for the bells. I did study music too. That was also something that I did when I was young. I've written quite a bit of music. How's that? That's cool. Yeah, I go into that place and I find things. Last month I found the month before I got this bag there for a couple dollars, and this is has my diviner kit in it, and so we got my because I got this new set of dice. I got this new set of dice. It has some letters on it. Goes through the alphabet. They got a lot of energy in them too. They're pretty hot. Yeah. Pee-wee's an angel. Yeah. And I cook for little Pee-wee too. I have been cooking for Pee-wee for a while. I love that dog so much. I just can't tell you how much I love that dog. I've never loved a dog as much as I love Pee-wee. And then I got this cigar box last month for, I think, like a couple dollars. And this one has my my Prentice Tarot, and it has this Mary Mother Oracle, and it's got this What's the Vibe Oracle. And it's a neat to. It looks like should be using like a Tarot de Marseille. This looks like a box that your a Tarot de Marseille would go into, and that's that. And then I got that bottle. I have other things. Anyway, it's a multi vendor store, and it's like run by people I went to high school with, townspeople. Yeah. Pee-wee's is an angel, an angelic being. I know she is, and I'm very grateful for her. I love her so much. I've never loved a dog like I have loved little Pee-wee. And, it's cool. I got this coaster and something that came from, well, the video hasn't come out yet, so I'm not going to show you the that I got. My collection of keyword tarot decks is growing. Then there's that one that I'm never going to. But yeah. But yeah. Right? Oh. Elizabeth sent me a video. When your arm itches but your baby is asleep on it. Yeah. Cardamom deck. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I like that Tarot de Marseille to a certain degree. I have a hard time telling the difference between the swords and the wands. I would like to see somebody redesign that tarot. But I think the redesign of that tarot would be better if you used spades for swords, hearts for cups, clubs for clubs, and diamonds for pentacles. And or if you use a sword in there, you put the numerical number in that. I don't know. I'm trying to like your miracle of bells, but thinking of how would a redesign of that tarot be? Because with a pip deck and so forth. I don't know. I don't like the Ace of Cups. I don't like the Ace of Cups for some reason. It seems kind of ostentatious or something. But anyways, you know what? I'm gonna get off the camera here, and I need to get ready for my tomorrow's live stream. I'm and where I'm going to. Yeah, so here we go. If we go look at it, we got maybe it might be at this point in time, because I struggle so much with the human figure that I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's got the little portholes in it, so you can see that it's something different. This one's hidden. Probably needs some trees in it. But anyways, you know what? I need to go. And I'm going to hang out with the dog and my mom a little bit. And then I got to think about my after church chat show tomorrow at 12:21. And I'm going to do that one on science fiction prophecies, mostly on Star Trek. And my thoughts about tomorrow. Tomorrow's dreams. And I'll probably go for like 20 minutes or so and then call it a day. And so I'm going to call it a night. Good night. Thank you Thank you, Tapestry of the Unseen, for contacting my little doggy. You know, she's a little angel. She has a lot of light that just surrounds her all the time. I see it. It's like a cloud of white of light, and yeah, she knows that I have nightmares, and so she comes to soothe my dreams. Yeah, Milo came into my dreams too a long time ago. Milo's been gone since 2018. And good night, Elizabeth. Good night, Tapestry of the Unseen. Good night, Mama Sushi. Good night, Ravni. And good night, everyone else who came into my chat to say hello. Everyone who pushed the like and sub button. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Blessings and peace to you, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.